So today we will solve classified past paper questions on chapter number 8, through which we will practice paper number 2. Let's get started. The first question says, which graph shows most clearly what will happen to the rate of transpiration as humidity increases? Yes, here he is focusing on the one factor, which is the humidity. What will happen when the humidity increases? So we have four choices here, A, B, C, and D. In A, the rate of the transpiration increase when the humidity increase. Okay. B, the rate of transpiration decreased when the humidity increase. C, the rate of transpiration will not change. This means plateaued or stationary. Okay, or stay constant. Okay. Here the rate of the humidity increase when the rate of transpiration increases when the rate of humidity increase. So here increase. Here decrease. Here it will increase and then will plateau, or will stay stationary, or will stay constant. So, as you know, and we can take this as a point of revision, we have factors that affecting the rate of transpiration. Factors affecting the rate of transpiration. Those factors are, we have we can say internal or external firstly. External factors. And we have B, internal factors. In both of them we have four factors. We have four factors. Okay, here 4 and here 4. I'll change the color in order to make it much more observable. Yeah, those four, three of them increase and one decrease. Okay, even those, the internal factors, three of them increases and one decreases. So let's go through them again. Number one in the external factors, surely the temperature. When the temperature increase, the transpiration will increase. Okay. Number two, the speed of wind or wind speed. When it increases, the rate will be also increased. The third external factor is the light intensity. Light intensity. Surely when the light intensity increases, so more photosynthesis and the stomata are being opened, that's why it will be also increased. Yeah, the temperature, the kinetic energy will cause the water to move faster, so it will be volatile and evaporized, so it will be even increase the rate of the water loss or the transpiration. Wind speed, when the wind comes through the plant, so it's move the water out, so that here making a lowering in the water potential. That's why the water will move from inside the leaf to outside via the stomata throughout the transpiration process. The fourth one, that is any increase in it will cause a decrease in the transpiration, surely is the humidity. Yes, humidity. When the humidity increases, the transpiration rate decreases. Why? This is the plant and this is the soil level, and those are the leaves. When there is a lot of water, outside. So in the humid, let's say this is humid. Humid means moist, means high water potential. By other words, high water potential. If it's higher in the water potential outside of the leaf, surely the water will not be, or the rate of that transpiration will be decreased. The water inside will be lower. So the water will not move from a region of the lower concentration or a lower water potential inside the leaf in this case, outside in a humid or a highly humid environmental conditions at which there is a higher water potential. The water will not move, okay, in this way. So the answer here is B. Because as long as the humidity increases, so the rate of transpiration will be decreases. Regarding the internal factors, surely the number of stomata, if you have more stomata, so more gates through which the water can be leaked out and transpired, okay? Surely the surface area exposed, when we have a higher, okay, surface area, so more water can be, so when we have more surface area exposed to the air, that's also making, for example, let's make this an example. This is a broadleaf, and this is a monocot. This is dicot, for example. Okay, and here on the monocot they have, okay, a thinner, okay, parallel leaf, and here it's a broadleaf, surely. Broad leaves, and here there's a narrow leaf. So the surface area exposed to the air here is more than for the monocot, for example. So when you have more surface area exposed to the conditions or the environmental conditions, so the rate of transpiration is also increases. Okay, so we have another factors as well that are, okay, for the internal factors. We have the number of, we said number of stomata, we said the surface area exposed. Yeah, we have the cuticle. But cuticle is another factor that will decrease the rate of the water loss. So when the cuticle increase or in the thickness, so the rate of the water loss by the transpiration will be decreased. But there is one, okay, one point I didn't mention yet that is considered of the factor of the internal factors that is affecting the transpiration rate. Okay, who can remind me by this factor? Yes, Shabab. Yes, it is the air spaces. Yeah, the air spaces. Me myself, I prefer this way in order to write down the number because now I will not forget. Me myself, I say cuticle, but when I know that there are three that increases and one decreasing, I mentioned the first, the second, and what was the third? So now I can squeeze my mind in order to remind myself or to recall this info. In this case, it is the air spaces in the leaf, air spaces. Of course, when you have more air spaces, so more water can be vaporized there and they can even go or to transpire, so it increases. The cuticle, of course, when we have a thicker cuticle, so they will retain water inside the plant more and the rate of transpiration will be relatively decreased. So all of those are the factors that affecting the rate of transpiration. They are very important. A lot of questions will be on this part in our practice today. So let's continue. Yes, again, the transpiration. The diagram shows a potted plant and the same plant 24 hours later. What causes the change in the appearance of the plant? Of course, this is the plant before and this is after. The plant is withered or it wilt. So, what causes the plant to wilt? A. Water loss is greater than water uptake. B. Water moves from leaves to the stem. How come the water move from the water to the stem? 3, or C, water uptake is equal to water loss. D, water uptake is greater than the water loss. A, the water loss is greater than the water uptake. Yeah, it's correct. It's true. But let's listen for the rest of the options. Water moves from the leaf to the stem. No, it doesn't. The way by which the water moves back from the leaves into the stem. Water uptake is equal to the water loss. Of course not, because if yes, the plant should not be weathered, shouldn't be wilt. D, water uptake is greater than the water loss. Infinitely, it is wrong answer. Because if the amount of water taken by the plant is more than the water lost by the plant will not be weathered. Yeah, it will be much turgor and it will be much stronger. Let's carry on then. Question number 4, or 3 in this case. By which process is water lost from the leaf? Active transport, B, diffusion, C, osmosis, D, photosynthesis. Of course, water is not transported by active transport at all. Diffusion, yeah, water can in the form of vapor, Osmosis, the water moved by osmosis. Okay, water conducted by osmosis. But don't be tricked. Photosynthesis, no, it's not. So active transport, no, the water is not transported by active transport. Osmosis, yes, the water transported by osmosis. But here he mentioned the water loss from the leaf. Yeah. So in the leaf, we can draw it here. For example, this is the upper, okay. This is the upper epiderms. Sorry. This is the upper epiderms. Okay, I'll not draw it in advance, but this is the lower. Yeah, here I will draw the first layer, which is the epiderms. They are a parallel shaped or biconcave shape. Yes, and here where we have a guard cell, here also we have another epidermal cells. And here also we have a guard cell. And surely here we have the cuticle layer. Okay, and also here we have the cuticle layer. Okay. Okay, and here surely here we have the same cells, but in order to make it just faster, I can draw it as well here. Those are the upper epidermal cells. Okay. Okay, and this is the upper epidermal cells, and of course they have also a cuticle that covering them. This is the cuticle. Okay, underneath them there they I'll use the green little bit. Okay, this is the green color. Yeah, there is the palisade. They are rectangular, they are tightly packed. There is a large number. Yeah, I made a mistake here. The cells shouldn't be touch each other. This is a paper 6. Okay, related work. You have to take care of this. Green color, yes. The cells shouldn't touch each other. But just a diagram, just a sketch, not a real precise paper work. So I know that it will be much more precise if you do it on your paper. So I'll just do it that fast. So here there is, of course, a nucleus and a lot of the chloroplast. A huge number of chloroplasts is found here. Okay, underneath it, there is, yes, there is the mesophyll. The mesophyll is irregular shaped cells. Also, they have nucleus and relatively fewer number of the chloroplasts. Yes, they are irregular in shape. They do not have a fixed shape. Yes, and here as well there is the another cells, and here there is the other cells. And just an example in order to illustrate our point and to make it much more clearer for you, because this point is tricky for some. Yeah, so this is the upper epidermis. Okay, and here is the palisade. Okay, palisade layer, or you can say palisade mesophyll. Both are okay. Okay, and here we have the spongy mesophyll, spongy layer, spongy mesophyll. Both are the same. Both of the palisade and spongy together, they are making the mesophyll layer, or the middle. Meso means middle. Mesophyll layer. Okay, meso means middle. And here we have the air chamber. And here we have the stoma. Stoma is singular, plural is stomata. Stoma is being controlled by two guard cells. Those are the guard cells. Those are the guard cells. And one of the most interesting things that the guard cells do contain chloroplasts. It's very interestingly. So there are chloroplasts inside the guard cells. Guard cells do contain chloroplasts. Okay, so the guard cells, number one, they have a lot of rules. Okay, number one, they control, okay, the stomata or the stoma to open and close. Number two, they contain the photosynthesize. Photosynthesize. Okay, they photosynthesize. Why? Because they contain chloroplast. So, as they have chloroplasts, so they are photosynthesizing. Okay, and here this is the lower epidermis. And this is the lower, this is the cuticle, the waxy layer that we just talked about. So, when the water reach here, the air chamber, it will be evaporated, but first of all, it will be converted into water vapor. Water vapor. Okay, so the water vapor is moved by, yes, diffusion, will diffuse out, okay, by diffusion. So don't mix up. When it's moved here from cell to cell, okay, it will be done by osmosis. So when the water, for example, if I draw here xylem, it will come in the next question, the xylem. So this is the extension of the explanation for that question. So question number 4. The lower end of a plant stem is placed in water colored with red dye. So I like, okay, to call this in water colored with a red dye, After 3 hours, the stem is cut and as shown in the diagram. Which labeled region is stained red? A, B, C, or D? My strategy here is to label, just label. Then you will find out the answer, label. And one important thing I'd like to draw your attention to, in the Igcse, we have actually 3 drawings. We have the root, okay, we have the stem, which here in this example, and also we have the leaf, okay. Regarding the, of course, all of them supposed to be by dicot. So in the dicot. Root cover in chapter, root and stem both in chapter 8. Leaf is in chapter 6, the nutrition in plant or plant nutrition. Okay, and both of them, all of them are for dicot. For dicot. Okay, for dicot, not monocot. So we need to know in details the roots, okay, the stem, the leaf in the Igcse. So let's carry on. Okay, I said labeling. Yes, this is my strategy in order to solve such a question, just in case if you don't know how to answer it. Okay, A is the, let's start from outside. Okay, the stem has epiderms. Okay, this is the epiderms. Of course, it's not an option, but we are learning, so it's advisable and recommended to do it. It's the epiderms, surely. Okay, and the epidermis are under, okay, and epidermal, or it's called dermal tissue system. Dermal tissue system. Okay, right after we have the cortex. B is the cortex. Cortex is under the ground. Okay, this is advanced. Okay, this is advanced. We don't need, you don't need this. You don't need this. It's not in the curriculum. Ground tissue system. Okay. Then in the middle, there's the pith, or sometimes they are known as medulla. And this is also ground tissue system. This is advanced point. Yeah, all of those are, yes, this and this is known as, yes, they refer to as vascular bundles. Vascular bundles. So what are the vascular bundle made up of? Yes, yeah, D in A here, actually, yeah, we have here to the top, this is the xylem. Okay, A, this is in the facing the inside. Its color mostly is stained in red, okay, because it has a lot of the sclerenchymatous cells. Of course, according to the dye that we are using, but in our question, it says red dye, so I'll just stain it in red. So this is the xylem, okay. And phloem, they mostly referred by a bluish color, and this is the phloem, okay. But I can go even like this. So this is the phloem, okay. And in the middle, just to know, this is called cambium. Vascular, it's called vascular cambium. Vascular cambium. Because one of you asked me this before, as I think so. This is not in, yeah, it's not mentioned here in our curriculum, but just to know what, vascular cambium. And this is responsible, it's kind of meristematic cells, equivalent to the stem cells in the human. So they are dividing upward and giving you the phloem, and downward giving you the xylem, making the secondary growth. So anyway, let's carry on. So xylem, as we know, is dedicated for the transportation. Transport water plus minerals. Phloem is dedicated for translocation. Translocate. Okay, food. Yeah, of course, the food has the products of the photosynthesis. This is the function of the phloem, this is the function of the xylem, and this is the highly detailed for the dicot stem. This is dicot. Of course, TS representing transverse section in the dicot stem. Yes, we have to know this very, very importantly. So, roots, stems, and leaves. Okay, let's carry on to question number 5. That says, what is transported in the phloem and what is the direction of the transport? A, starch up and down. B, starch up only. C, sucrose up and down, or down and up. D, sucrose down only. He said here in the phloem. Yeah. Phloem is dedicated, as we mentioned here, is dedicated for translocation of products of photosynthesis. Okay, so A, starch up and down. No, it's not. Up and down is okay, but it's not being in the form of starch, so it will be incorrect answer. Starch up only, no. Both of them are not okay. Why? Because it's not. Up and down is okay, but because it's being connected to the starch, it will not be correct answer. Starch, no. And up only, it's also no. So it's incorrect answer. C, sucrose, yeah, true. Okay, and we will know why. Up and down, yeah, it is up and down. Sucrose, yeah. Down only, no. If we have a plant like this, okay, this is the surface or the soil, and this is the roots, and here we have the leaf. Okay, if we are looking here, this is the plant leaf. Okay, so the leaves make the food, so the food moves up and down. But my question is, why sucrose? Why sucrose? Why sucrose? Why not glucose? By other words, why not glucose? Yeah, because sucrose is, yes, it is less reactive. It is less reactive. So it's easily to be translocated without being used up by the cells. Yeah, so why sucrose? Sucrose, I change the color to make it much more obvious. Sucrose is less reactive. So easily translocated. Okay, translocated without being used up by the cells. Why not glucose? Because glucose is reactive, is highly reactive, is reactive. So it will be used up by the cell. So will be used up. So we don't need it to use up. We need it to be translocated from one place to another in order to allow all of the plants to take equal amounts of the food. Okay. So question number question number 6 here. In which order does water pass through the cells of a plant as the water travels from? I have to focus here. As the water travels from roots to leaves. So he said starting from the roots. So keep this in mind. A, mesophil cells, root hair, root cortex, and then xylem. B, root cortex, root hair, xylem, mesophil cells. C, root hair, mesophil cells, root cortex, xylem. D, root hair, root cortex, xylem, mesophil. Yeah, let's illustrate all of the options. Number one, mesophil cells. Mesophil is in the leaf, is in the leaf, is in leaf. And he said starting from the root, so totally incorrect. Root cortex, yeah, root cortex is in the root, but the root hair before the root cortex, okay? If we draw a transverse section very fast for the root in order to just remind you, okay? Here we have outside, okay, let me, okay, so I'm using Shababa a smart pen, so it's not that accurate, same as you are doing the drawings. So my drawing is not subject to be, okay, taken in the accuracy level that needed for the paper 6. Okay. Oh, there's a smart draw. Yes, I can draw a ball. Yes, done. Okay. So even in the exam, you shouldn't draw by using a protractor, for example, or You can't use this. I'm just here for the increasing the level of accuracy. So here, this is the epidermis, surely. Okay, the epidermis layer has some, okay, I'll say, okay, some extensions. Those are, oh, I have to do every single time. I don't know. Yes. Yeah, those are root hairs. Those are root hairs. Okay, root hairs. So after this, second layer is cortex. This is the second layer, the cortex. And by the way, here I shouldn't even have it. Okay, if I make it to the level of the paper 6, I shouldn't make it arrowed. Okay, it should just be an arrow like this. This is the epidermis, and that's it. Okay, and this is the cortex. After the cortex, we have another layer, which is the still or the vascular cylinder. Okay, I'll use here another one to draw a vascular cylinder. I'll draw any a circle, not an oval shape. Okay, it didn't make it. I don't know why. So Shabab, sorry, I wanted to redo this. Okay, I need a vascular cylinder. So I need a circle here in the middle. Yes. Yeah, then the magic happens. Okay, so this is known as a vascular cylinder. Yes, this is a vascular cylinder. Or a steel. Okay, inside it there are, yeah, I need can I use shapes? Yes, I can use shapes. Okay, I need, okay, I need more shapes. Okay, I'd like to draw a rectangle. Okay, it's okay. The color is, okay, and okay, the line should be, okay, blue. Let's do it, let's do darker. Okay, here we have, yes, this is the xylem. This is xylem. Okay, I need to make more actually of it, so let's carry on. Yeah, here as well, there is xylem as well. Start writing. Shall I do something wrong? Okay, sorry Shabab, it freezed and then back again from its own. Okay, I need to move this. Okay, now it works. Okay, I need shapes, I need lines, so I will redraw it. Okay, I do want to write here, I don't know why. So, sorry Shabab, it's supposed to draw here another one. This will be xylem as well. Okay, here again we have xylem. Okay, and the phloem, I'll draw it in a red color just to differentiate it. Yeah, this is the xylem. Okay, and in between those arcs or those branches, there should be okay, this is also xylem, and there should be a patches of the phloem. I'll draw them in this light color, for example. I need lines. I wish not to be, yeah, I need oval shapes. Okay, the line, I need this line, just to use it. Yeah, okay, I'll try to draw it here. Okay, it's not draw as I want to draw with myself. Okay, I need it to be like this. Yeah, those are the patches of the phloem. Here is the phloem. Okay, so let's back again to our options. Option number 1, excluded. 2, root cortex, then root hair? No, the root hair is in the epidermis, so it is not correct answer. C, root hair, true. Mesophyll. How come? Jump up from the root to the leaf? No. Incorrect. Root hair? Yes. Root cortex? Yes. Xylem? Yeah. Then to the mesophyll? It does make sense. Yeah. So if I even follow this, I'm gonna say, yeah, root hairs in the beginning, yeah, the root hairs. Then to the cortex, yeah. Then to the xylem, third, yes. And then the xylem of the root is connected to the xylem of the stem, which is connected to the xylem of the leaf, and then they will give it to the mesophyll layer. So it does make sense. Okay. So today we finished together the. I can take some questions. We can go ahead for some. Okay. Here, question number 7. The diagram shows a plant shoot and the same shoot 6 hours later. Here is the plant shoot, okay, and some shoot 6 hours later. Okay. Which change in environmental condition could cause this change in the shoot? What happened? It's withdraw, wilt. So let's carry on this and find out the reasons why. So if you can look here, a decrease in the availability of water or unavailable of water. B, a decrease in light intensity. C, a decrease in wind speed. D, an increase in humidity. Let's judge every single option. A decrease in the water available. Yeah, if there is less water available, so the water or the plant will wilt. Yeah, that's true. But still, we need to look through the rest. A decrease in light intensity. How come? If you decrease the light intensity, the transpiration rate, if you decrease the light intensity, so the transpiration, okay, will decrease or will be decreased. And if the transpiration decrease, the plant will not wilt. So it is not correct. A decrease in the wind speed. If the wind speed, okay, decreased, so the transpiration will be also decreased. Okay, and the transpiration will be also decreased, and the wilting will not be occurred. An increase in humidity, so this is wrong. Increase in humidity, if you increase the humidity, the transpiration will be decreased, as we discussed earlier. So when the transpiration decreased, the plant, in those 3 cases, when the transpiration decreased, the plant will not lose water. Okay, so plant, okay, lose no water. Okay, or less water, but it will not wilt. It will not wilt. So a decrease in the water available is the correct answer. When the water available decreased, okay, so the plant will withdraw. And even if the transpiration rate occur to the level that is higher, then the rate the plant can compensate it by taking a lot of another water, it would be also wilting. So this is the most accepted valid answer. So question number 8 says, and this will be our last question for today's practice. The question says, a celery stalk is placed in a beaker of a blue dye. I will change the color in order to just cool the question. Blue dye. Okay, I'll highlight this. Once the dye reaches the leaves, the stalk is taken out and cut in half. Yeah, so here the celery stalk. We place it in a blue dye and then we cut. Then those are the picture of the cut. The options are the question, which diagram shows the appearance of the cut end of the stalk? A, B, C, D. Let's go through the options and judge every single one of them. Here there is no water at all. It's being transported, which is totally incorrect. The dye will be taken, will be transported. B, here only in some patches, okay, and with a blue dye, and those patches are in the Yeah, in the strands. Those are known as strands. Okay, xylem strands. And of course, the water is transported in the xylem, and that seems the best answer. Yet, we can judge the rest of the options. C, just in the outer layer and in the places that which supposed to be the xylem, there's nothing is being transported. Surely it is incorrect. Why? Because this layer exactly, this is the cortex, and cortex is not responsible for the transportation of water. So it is incorrect. D surely is not without even, okay, looking, because here the water is transported throughout the stem, which is totally incorrect. This is all the, okay, all of the ciliary stalk, which is incorrect. All of the ciliary stalk, which is, okay, incorrect. Okay, so the water is transported in the xylem. The xylem found in the strands here. Okay, so this is the only correct valid answer for this question. Okay, thank you, my students. On having you today. I wish to see you next time, inshallah. I wish all of you to stay blessed and stay safe. See you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.